Yo, 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 what is shaking world? Happy Money Monday. Welcome to another episode of Windjack Radio presented by Windjack Studios. Really excited to kick off the week. What? I haven't kicked off weeks in a while other than that one. I think it's recently, I think it was a couple weeks back, but I'm looking forward to this. A lot of things to cover real quick to kind of give everyone updates on what's happening behind the scenes and some new additions to our official partners, and then streamlining the back end with websites. A lot of great things are happening. Not sure how many people are online right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, and what's this other one? Facebook. But what I would like to do to discuss first is the video that I released on Saturday. How many of you in the chat box, if you're not here live, do everything you do, get to here live. If you're watching a recording of this, send a message in the chat or wherever you're watching it and viewing the recording. Mondays, we're not going to change anything. I guess we're going to go into the video first. Let's talk about the schedule. Schedule for lives will not change moving forward. Mondays is me at 11 a.m. Eastern time, same bad channel. Only time that will change for any kind of holidays or something special coming up, but you'll get a notice weeks in advance if that happens. Tuesdays is with my man Russ Johns from Pirate Syndicate. He is our official producer for our live streams. He has exclusive offers, knocking off close to around $3,000 off his offers and providing every member of our community. Doesn't matter if you're just a listener or if you want to take a show and start a show and going to a live stream. I highly suggest you making sure you tune in on each Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Wednesdays, this is something I want to announce. I want to officially announce the partnership of Alpha Hippie with Angelo Cisco and Ryan. These guys are coming on board to do something very similar that Be Your Own brand does for our members of our community. And Be Your Own for Samantha Duran, they are a female-centric business and a mentorship for all female entrepreneurs. Doesn't matter what levels, small, medium, large corporations. What they do is they really assist the females in actually giving them what they need throughout, their business journey. Next thing is for Alpha Hippie. Alpha Hippie has programs, and their sole purpose, and this is what I love about their business model and with their mentorships and their coaching. They teach men and they turn them pro. I'm going to let that sink in just for a second. They turn men pro. We all know this society is breeding weak-minded individuals. And it doesn't matter what gender. As soon as they're able to or are met with a little bit of adversity, a little bit of hardship, people usually quit. Why is that? Could be their upbringing, surroundings, their mentality. I know that with the human brain, I'm not going to go all the way down this deep rabbit hole. But the human brain is very powerful, as we all know. And deep in our subconscious, there's like a hidden gene there. There's a hidden message. Once you start giving up on yourself and you're making it okay to quit and make it okay to do certain things, well, we're humans. We're going to obviously quit on ourselves or whatever the situation might be. So what they're there to do for our community is to bridge that gap and really provide a level of service that is bar none to any company that I've ever seen that actually does this. So really excited. Thank you guys for coming on board as official partners. I'm really honored, especially with Angelo. We came on his show, came on my show, The Win-Win Effect, which blew it up. It's a lot of great information. It was actually one of the highest streamed and downloads that we received on a Win-Win Effect in quite a while. So that was phenomenal. Thank you again, Angelo. So they'll be doing it on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time. On Thursdays, you'll get our good friends from Market House and Site Now, Mr. Zach and Jason. Goodness gracious, they've been dropping some fire. What? Fire on Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So you notice the only time it's going to be a little bit earlier is on a Monday for me, because as you can tell, for my backdrop, that's not a green screen. I am in London. My microphone makes me sound American. No, but I am from America. So for those who do not know me as of yet. So there's a lot of things that I discussed and I released on Saturday. The reason why I didn't want to make a huge announcement and I wanted to kind of leak it on Saturday is to prep myself for Monday. The system we were utilizing before through beta testing is going away this week. Bye, Felicia. So the whole thing with the system, that was just there for me to be able to tweak, peek, make the proper adjustments, reassess, contextualize, and then set the right plan moving forward when you're going to be reaching all the members within your communities. So I've mentioned, I think on numerous occasions, about the audio and the video promos and where you should be putting those inside your, I guess, your podcast show. Doesn't matter what your format is. We're going to start opening it up now. And I didn't mention this on Saturday, but this is kind of like it was a preview to this. We're going to be setting up weekly meetings, weekly community meetings. So I need to kind of figure out this from you guys. What time, once a week, can we meet for 30 to 45 minutes to discuss execution? And what I mean by execution is whatever we're trying to get into place, we need to make sure that we're all on that one heartbeat, one mission, one outcome. So we all look the same and sound the same when we're trying to deliver a message. As you can tell, at the end of these, 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙬𝙧, she's down there somewhere, we'll hit a button and it'll play the intro. We'll play the outro. That's what I'm talking about, plugging those inside of your podcast episodes to reach your communities and bridging that gap. The next thing we're kicking off should be by close of business on Friday is we need to kind of figure out the live stream times, but the live stream times won't be done on this channel. It will be done through another live stream to reach your communities in a different way to really take more of a Q&A. All right. So I know they get a lot of messages for like really mapping this out and for you to going live. We kind of like kicked around the whole ideas of going live on these channels and going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, however it's streamed. But we kind of kicked the ball around on that and some ideas. The way that we looked at it, we want to make sure that we're reaching your communities and your audience in a different way, but it would be a little bit more difficult if you did a live stream like this. You're really not going to be able to answer your questions with your community members and your listeners of your show, depending on what your topic is and what you're trying to reach and the message you're trying to like polarize out and the energy. So what we discussed and what we're going to bring up, and obviously we can, of course, discuss this on a little bit more in detail when we have our weekly meetings. Because here's the thing, I don't really want to just like cover it in general. I want to kind of get in detail with this, and I wasn't planning on. But when you're looking at delivering that messaging and opening up communication with your communities, I really like to talk about specific things. So when I was kind of measuring, reassessing, and looking and kind of playing around with the idea of going live, if you remember my show on the Win-Win Effect, towards the end, I think it was actually middle of season 4, I started to do live Q&As on these channels. And that's where it started giving me the idea that it actually can be done on a high level. So what we're going to be doing is figuring out how you can plug into your audio or your video, however you stream your show, plugging in certain things where they're able to text at 843-396-2104, specific questions for you to get direct access to. That way you're prepared when you do your live Q&A, and you don't have to do it once a week, guys. I'm saying you can do it, bi-weekly, once a month, however you want to make that happen. But the execution on that needs to be really crystal clear when it comes to delivering that message with your communities. I hope that makes sense. We'll cover that later. It's a whole list that I'm trying to go through right now. If you see me keep looking down, that's what I'm looking at. The calls that we do where that once a week thing, I would like to also do the same type of format with texting 843-396-2104. And we did also utilize Slack for international community members, because that 843-396-2104 is only for US and Canada for now. And that's where our official partners with Community, which they're phenomenal, but just don't have it for international. I do, obviously, you can tell I'm in the UK. I do have a lot of listeners from different areas and different regions in the world. So everyone gets confused. I get a lot of emails like, you tell me to text this number, man. I never get any responses. I'm like, because it says it on the app. Anyways, but I don't know. Sometimes you have to spell it out for them. The main thing is we're reaching those to really increase their awareness and then also really help them feel, this is a key word to this, feel like they're being heard. So how do you do that and polarize it out through a microphone into people? Well, you tell them what's going on. Tell them what you're looking for. In order to really help someone on a larger scale, you need to ask them how to bridge that gap themselves and make it easier and meeting them where they're at. You can't just go on a microphone like, hey, I have a show and I talk about these great things. What if you have a show, right? Think about this for a second. If you have a phenomenal guest that comes on and drops nothing but straight fire and nuggets that can really help people, but if you don't know how to promote it, that's an issue. Well, soon I'm going to be bringing up Haney, and he actually runs Repurpose and taking your content and utilizing your video content to really help your listeners on a larger scale. The back end of this, if you notice with my show, The Win-Win Effect, I'm not showing any more video. The reason why I'm not showing any more videos, I want to show you how it's done and how to really position it where you're opening up that streamlined communication for them to get something on a higher scale, right? So getting something out of it. And this includes your listeners. If they become a exclusive member with Windjack Studios, they're going to have access to the same things you have access to. So what we're doing is we're pretty much setting the table, setting the stage, and inviting everybody to one big, huge party. Lauren Tickner, obviously one of our partners with Windjack Studios, and an official. We're officially doing certain things and bridging that gap with Impact School. And what is Impact School? I want to kind of make sure everyone understands this. Impact School, she teaches smaller businesses or coaches on how to take their message and taking what their skills are and displaying their skills and getting into multiple 6 and then to a 7 and then and so forth in type of earnings. How they go about achieving this, they actually have programs within their inside their system that really touch people in a different way, and it really gives them access to things that they never had access to with all the resources they have available, the business resources, financial resources. That's massive for people. Think about this overall for those who are listening to this live. And if you're not watching this live, make sure you're sending messages inside the comments section, just like you were here live, please. That way my team can go back and make sure that we're driving the right information or answering your questions. But when you're looking at financial stuff, even if I went online right now and said, I need to find funds. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we had, I think it was the last Monday that I was here with Curtis came on, and we really covered a lot of information on how to leverage credit as a resource for you to take your business or take your show to a different level and different heights. How to go about achieving this, there's different types of levels of financial services. Some of you maybe need more information on how to apply or taking your loans, getting a loan from the bank. And that's what they do is they bridge that gap and teach you how to position it in a certain way and know where to get a loan from. Because you want to make sure you're leveraging that zero credit. That 0% credit is important because you can be able to leverage that, be able to liquidate the cards, whatever you're trying to do, to reapply when you're doing it for personal credit, then going into business credit. Why is this pertaining to podcasts? Because you have no idea. And I'm going to go on a limb. I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but I'm going to say this. There's a difference between a business person and a podcaster. You can be both, but a business person and a podcaster is trying to utilize podcasting to be able to gain more awareness and share their message and to sell a program, product, service, or good, and they haven't reached it on a larger scale. There's a good chance they're not really that business savvy. They don't know how to leverage credit as a resource. They don't know how to really position themselves properly inside the marketplace to start earning. The reason why I know this, because the statistics do not lie. Numbers do not lie. Over 90% of podcasters make $0. Not because they don't have a great product, service, or good, and they don't have a great message or a business model. They just don't know how to bridge that gap with their listeners. So that's what we're here to do, is to bridge that gap. Most people, when they get on their show, they don't want to sell. Well, there's a certain way of going about enrolling people inside your processes, inside the protocol, where you're having enrollment dates. So say, for instance, and most of you know this, I was in sales lifetimes ago, and I haven't got on the phone with individuals and actually sold something in forever because I never sold anything. All I did was present them an opportunity. And how I go about achieving that is different for every single individual. So what I just need to know is what are the problems? What are bottlenecks in your business? What are you trying to accomplish? And then I teach you the system on how to go about achieving it at a very high level. So when podcasters, sometimes they don't know how to deliver that message through a microphone. If they are interviewing a guest, or it could be just them talking into a microphone. Hey guys, I do have a program I would like for you to take action on. And they take that little audio and drop it inside their steps or drop it inside their show, thinking that everyone's going to do it. That's not the case usually, is it? Let's be honest. Comments, anything you have to say to that, it's important. Bridging that gap is just all about giving them more. What do you think? What's the missing word here? Giving them more what? Understanding, clarity about the next step moving forward. People do not like to get on a phone call anymore, and because one reason, they don't want to be sold. They don't want to be sold. They don't want to be tried to convinced to do something they don't potentially want to do. And also, one thing to obviously help you with this, they want an understanding of what's going to happen in that first encounter. And I'm not saying it has to be over the phone, but you can do it through a funnel. You can do it through a sequence of videos as a pre-placement to get you bridge that gap from interest to enrollment. And then from enrollment to fulfillment to protect yourself on actually doing the right things morally and ethically within your business model. These are the things that most podcasters don't understand, because it's not that they don't have an understanding or the mindset to do it. They just haven't been exposed to that way of thinking yet. This all making sense? Yes. So when you get them to the right information, then they're able to take it in, custom make it, and deliver the message to their buyers or prospective buyers in that situation. So Lauren Tittner, I've been working with her staff and then our staff technically, because we're business partners, but looking at how do we bridge the gap from a lot of people going into her system and looking for podcasting, or they might be a high level client, but they don't know how to leverage podcasting to be able to reach more buyers or reaching more business. If you pay attention, if you go through all the official partners within Windjack Studios, and not a lot of people understand this, every single last one of them, other than Curtis Nally, other than the funding, I met through podcasting. A lot of those are past guests. So what does that tell you overall? If you're leveraging podcasting, you can actually do amazing things in a marketplace if you know how to really establish relationships and build on those. And when you're building on relationships, now it's not just a lifelong relationship. It's like I'm putting you in a situation where everyone's going to win. That's the whole idea. It's putting people in a position where they can't tell you no, and everyone's going to eat and everyone's going to win. Because most people, they've been around businesses, myself included. I had another business that sold for $10 to $15 million, sold that business. Great. But I was the face of it. But the problem was, me being the face of that business, I had to build the shit out of it, right? I was on the line. Well, leveraging community first is important because it takes the pressure and certain things that you have to make decisions on away from you. So that way, okay, we're all doing this together as one, that one heartbeat, one mission, one outcome. When you're getting in that type of cadence, now we can pretty much understand how to transfer that energy through people and through parties, through businesses, to do the right things, to receive the fulfillment we're looking for, to recycle that back into the business. Make sense? Yes. Most people think I'm crazy when I talk about this a lot, but it's all about being conscious of how I'm able to deliver a message and also transfer energy, and the energy that I'm attracting back into a certain situation. Yes. Everyone follow me here. So the training, well, not really training, but the video that I pre-released on Saturday was very strategically and methodically thought out by myself why I'm releasing it on a Saturday when not doing any promotions for it. Because that's the one video that I want people to hear. And that's after this video, I don't want them to see my face, me talking about it as a leader. It's everyone here. Just because you have a podcast show and maybe you're not an official partner as of yet, doesn't mean that we can't teach you how to build and structure your courses and programs for you to really help the listeners or helping the communities and you becoming an official partner. If we do this the right way with the right intentions, everyone's going to win. Maybe most of you are a podcaster and you don't know how to go about achieving this. That's what we're here to teach you. We're not just here to go, all right, we're Windjack Studios, we're taking over the world. No, there's some high level type of influencers. And this is a perfect example to mention. Jess Lee. Jess Lee came from the win-win effect. Interviewed her like 16, I don't know how many months ago. It feels like a lifetime. When I interviewed her, we had such an amazing conversation, developed on our relationship. I ended up meeting her manager, Steve Virginia. When I had this idea about Windjack Studios, it's 3 major components: Windjack Radio, podcasting; Windjack Music, record labels, understanding music and how it's done, distribution; Windjack TV, brokering deals, going and taking your show from a podcast show, audio, and turning you into a live stream. This is how it's done. Well, those 3 components are important. So now, to get more outreach, reached out to Jess Lee, had a conversation with our manager, Steve, launched her show. She was the first one of a high-level influencer. We wanted to leverage podcasting for her to reach her fans in a different way. Guys, you should see the numbers of engagement. And may not here right now, probably doing something, but if they were here, they would tell you to sell. But they came on last week. Well, Steve came on last week announcing him being the manager of myself, because I'm not just going to be doing my show or Windjack Music or Windjack TV. It's not about, yes, we want to be everywhere. We want to be everywhere. We want to be at your dinner table conversations. I'm going, have you ever heard of Windjack Studios? Like, I don't even know what they do. Is it music? Is it TV? Is it podcasting? It's a community. We are here to everyone to win. And that includes listeners. I don't care what it is. We're going into the next thing to announce in a couple of weeks is the merchandise component. You want to sell a t-shirt, a popsicle, you want to sell a hat? It's not going to stop, guys. We got Shure microphones that how to deliver yet. Over 100 microphones are giving to us right off the Jump Street. So to do special giveaways. And this includes listeners. We're going to hopefully drive a message through to you for you to really understand this is not just about business. This is not just about music. This is not just about TV, or this is not just about podcasting. It's about changing the world, the way content creators are distributing their messages. There's a lot of saturation out there. Yes. So you go on, prove it to you. Go on Instagram right now. Don't pay attention to the influencers. What I want you to pay attention to is all the podcast shows. How do they promote their show? Think about it. It's all the same shit. All the same shit. They'll post a promo. They'll post a thumbnail. They'll post a couple links. They say, hey, I had this guest on the show. Or they'll do a video. You get the ones that are very egotistical. They'll have an interview, right? Well, that interview, they'll do a video. Well, they'll do a video of them asking a question, but it's all the host and it's not the guest. The one thing that you'll see with my page on Instagram, Lord Chris Ross, one thing you'll see is that you don't see a lot of me in it. And now you're starting to see a little bit more sprinkling in, but all you saw was the guest. All you saw was guest. And that's why my numbers went through the roof. Because it was never about me. The guests, the listeners of shows, they showed up for me, but they stay for the guest. They stay for the guest. Are you saying that Nina Perez can become the Latino Oprah? Yes, Oprah Rich. I'm not sure if you've seen that movie. I can't remember what movie it came from out of the top of my head. But yes, you could be doing anything you want to do, Nina. If you can visualize it, you can manifest it, you can make it happen. So if that's what you want, and that's what you're going after, I'll do everything in my power to point you in that direction. I promise you. So, and just so happens, I actually know Rich Dolan really well. We became really good friends and contracts and stuff like that with that. So I got your back. Don't worry. But the main thing is figuring out how we can deliver your messages. How can we really give you the framework that you're going to need to take yourself to the next level? So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you feel inside your soul that you deserve more? Yes? Do you feel that you have everything inside of you to be able to get yourself to the next level? Because systems, programs, products, services, microphones, equipment, lighting, all that shit doesn't mean anything. These things always change. They're always adaptable. They're always getting better. Look at technology. I'm in the UK right now, and I'm talking into a microphone to probably somebody in Africa. Who knows tunes into these things? I get crazy messages from people below. Like, I don't even know, like in Turkey, they're listening to me in Turkey. I don't speak Turkish. have been to Turkey before, but I don't speak Turkish. Even though I do like their coffee. Coffee is great. As you see my freshly beard lineup, I go to a Turkish joint here in London. So little shout out to Jack the Clippers here in London. Anyways, but the point I'm making, you through your microphone with the right people and the right reach and the community side, when you make someone feel a certain way and you go feel important, feel like they're being heard. And what does Russ John say? Be heard, be seen, be talked about. Great slogan, right? But that means something. That means something bigger than him. When I say keep moving, keep growing, keep learning, sounds great, right? But I live and die by that message. When I say one heartbeat, one mission, one outcome, that's the philosophy that I align within processes. Does that mean something, or it just sounds great? It means something. So when we talked about community, collaboration to make a collective impact, these little punchlines, that's got to mean something. I want people to wear the Windjack Studios logo with a badge of honor. I'm taking that off obviously the checklist. You'll see it in the back office. That's going to be optional. Most of you have worked hard to develop your brands. I'm not trying to brand you. I want you to be excited. I want you to want to go, hey, I'm part of something great. Would you like to be involved? And then I want you to be able to see the results from that. Of course, you have access to all your affiliate programs, referral programs. I don't care. Like there's so much going on behind the scenes right now. You could probably tell at the beginning of this, didn't really have a lot of energy. Woo! I'm on fire. There's so many great things happening right now that are not even happening when I'm awake. That's the power. That's the power of the community. I don't have to be doing anything other than putting people in a position to win. That's my job. That's my only job. Build it out from the vision to this. Now you can see it. Now you know the optimal steps and getting yourself to that type of level of understanding and driving that message to execute. Then I sit back and watch everyone win. From there, do it consistently over time. One day, the next day, 3 days, 5 days, 20 days, 30 days. You'll start seeing results. I like to use an analogy when I talk about success and how to get yourself to an optimal level and operating at 100%. Most of you right now are only operating at 20% because you're not doing the things you want to do and what God designed you for and tapping into your source and your purpose in life. Luckily for myself, there's no luck. Well, I got in a little argument last week about this. There's a cause and effect world. From a cause that you make happen today came from an intention. Yes, came from a thought. Moving parts don't matter. But from that cause, there was an effect. Either it was positive or negative. So the effect that you have on others is the greatest currency you can ever possess in life. Ever. So through your microphone, are you polarizing that energy throughout them to recycle back into you, to your source? Hallelujah. If you are, great stuff. But you have to put yourself in a position to be conscious of, what am I putting out? So if you want to be like all the Jekyll and Hydes and all the copycats on Instagram, no one knows what's happening right now. And that's the beautiful side of it. They're never going to see us coming. And even if they do see it coming, I can care less. Ready or not, I'm like the Fugees today. Ready or not, here we come. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. Even if you want to stop it, you can't contain my energy. You cannot. You might be able to hold on to it for maybe 6 months or 12 months and like keep it down and bottle it up. But at some point, you can't hold it. There's so much passion behind it. You can't withstand it. And with all of us coming together at one heartbeat, one mission, one outcome, I feel sorry for you. Peace out. Good luck. So, guys, I appreciate everyone turning in all the way to the end of this. Looking forward to it. Remember, I need the times and what day is best to meet, and we'll work together some type of way, but I would like to not have a recording. Raise your hand if you want to see recordings. Who gives a shit? I want to be able to execute. Get people there live, and we can kind of come up with the right plan and a course of action to take, and let's take it to the next stratosphere. So whatever days and time works, send an email at admin@windjack.com or text the community at 843-396-2104. However you reach us, I just need to get the message. Next week, I would like to meet once a week starting. Let's go. Let's go. Who's with me? If you don't have the texting community, get Slack and send an email. Ask us. Guys, let's go win. Be you, be well, be great. Peace out. Much love. See you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern with Russ Johns. Hit the music, Carolyn. Peace out.
This broadcast is brought to you by Windjack Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.windjack.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.